We go.
Everyone, we're a religious nerd squad. We believe that you could be a nerd and a Christian. Also, he has risen. It's Easter. Happy Easter. We're going to be reacting to stuff.
Yeah.
And today I have me with... Oh, wait, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Chelsea Bunny.
I am Servant of God 777.
I'm Diva Night Rose Goldsmith, and last but not least,
I am Rias Khan.
Yeah.
He is a lion.
So, but just so no confusion pops up, yes, this is a different browser type than I'm usually using for reaction shenanigans. Because I am currently running on Linux. Because my laptop a while ago gave up the ghost, if you haven't noticed. So, yeah, if you can't tell, we're getting something out of the way because some shenanigans have happened with the Harry Potter show. But we have other funny stuff we're going to be reacting to, like this guy. But let's get this snark one out of the way because I think Chelsea only wants to do this once.
Yeah. YouTube, this is fair use. Don't get us in trouble.
Yeah, like, fair use, no sue. Also, as this is on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, share it all over the joint. Thank you. And now, this from Mythology Guy. Also, that reminds me, I didn't do what I actually said.
Hey, did you finish casting that new Harry Potter show? Yep, and check it out. We just finalized the new Severus Snape.
Why is there a zipper?
Zipper?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I am having a conniption over the costuming.
I'm going to steal a page from, and also shout out to Gothic Therapy. I'm going to steal a page from their book. There are no zippers in the Wizarding World.
The Wizarding World is set in Victorian era dress. They literally didn't have zippers back then.
They literally had
the actor, not the costume. I didn't realize the costume was horrifically bad because it's modern. It's supposed to be historical.
Also, is that leather or is that just some kind of weird fabric?
It looks like
polyester.
Like it looks like a combination of pleather and or polyester trash bag.
This is somehow making him more stereotypical, but
well, here's the thing: if they needed buttons, they needed hooks, they needed like some kind of clasp. Just at least HBO. You are the guys that made Gentleman Jack, that had one of the best recreations of 1830s costumes. What is this?
My issue is too. It's like, do they not have the costumes from the old series they could get inspired from?
Or in some cases, blatantly just reused.
Here's the thing: Gentleman Jack had threadwork buttons, proper 1830s stays with a busk, hand-sewn eyelet holes. They had all of that in just the intro of Gentleman Jack. What? And they had actual dress hooks, proper 1830s crazy hairstyles, complete with feathers and all sorts of ornaments and braids, lots and lots of braids and lots of curls, sleeves stuffed up to the brim for the rich ladies. HBO, you made Gentleman Jack and you were amazing in Gentleman Jack, and the costuming, what's your excuse?
I don't know, and I don't want to know, but let's go over the nonsense that this guy points out that this show's going to cause.
Snape. Oh, so Snape's going to be black now? Yes, he is. Do you have a problem with that? Well, yeah, a little bit, actually. Wow, dude. Oh!
Which, by the way, the comment is Warner Brothers and others will blame racism, but that's not entirely our problem. It's more the stereotypes.
No, not for that kind of reason. It's just... You know how this story goes, right? What do you mean? Well, when Harry first sees Snape, he immediately distrusts him and has a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that alone with being a black person
Yeah, super typical bad. Makes every bad African American thing look terrible.
That's just one bit. There's more.
About him, and then later he accuses him of stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
I wonder. This actor guy's Papa. Why
Papa
even
used to
name?
know.
He British black person. He's in a Hamlet. And King Lear.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Horatio could be played by anybody of any race.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Like
There are
I
some
even
casting choices you can literally give to anybody as long as you're a good actor or actress in some cases, and you have no problem. Some characters can be race swapped and gender swapped with no problem. Severus Snape is sadly not one of them.
For
Oh, yeah,
example,
right.
you could work. For example, one of the few gender swaps that worked was Dr. Smith in the recent Lost in Space.
Yeah.
That one actually worked.
Yeah, that can
Oh
be
yeah,
done.
And not to
Oh, yeah,
mention, in a Japanese-made recreation of Hamlet that I read a long time ago. I don't remember the publication and I don't remember the IMDb number, but the ISBN number. But in that manga, they made Horatio an Indian that was visiting the different country as a prince and changed his name to match with the culture of the time period to make it easier on those that didn't speak Hindi. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but my
Yeah.
mind does not have the. My brain just like yelling before you guys start talking. They probably changed the names so that way they don't get copyrighted if they didn't use it fair use.
Yeah, like,
Shakespeare
yeah.
is in the public domain because it's hundreds of
Oh,
years
it is?
old.
Never mind.
Yeah, and like I even agree
over
with like
400
a few.
Shakespeare is over 400 to 500 years old, Chelsea.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I even agree
no.
with some commenters who said, like, say you changed to Dumbledore or McGonagall black, like, there wouldn't be a problem. Because,
No.
like, anybody could play those guys.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too hard. In fact, I'd say this Black Dumbledore would actually go kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie.
He
And-
would.
And I don't
So you
mind
can make
that.
Dumbledore Asian and it'd be okay?
That one might be
Never
a tiny bit of a
mind.
stretch because he's over 100 years old, just because
They
of
have years
setting
too.
issues. I'm not sure how
Okay.
that would work, but it could be written that way. It's not the worst thing, but Severus Snape is the one character you never wanted to race swap. It's like all the other ones aren't the big landmines, except maybe like doing the Patil sisters as Italians. That's already like, wow. The Black Snape was bad enough, but that, by the way, as for the audience, they are also reportedly trying to do that. That's even stupider.
And yes, we are upset at
Put
that
it
too.
in my
So,
mouth.
and yes, we
thing,
are
Hollywood,
upset at
I
that
thought,
too.
and here's the thing, Hollywood. I thought it was bad when you exchanged indigenous for whites. Why is it okay when you do it? Why is it okay now to do it?
Because they're doing a white person into a black person, I guess, and this one isn't even a redhead. Which
There is only one. There is only one Italian I can see as Pavarotti, and she changed her name back. If you know, you know. And yes, I am obsessed with that series.
He won't. Yeah, this is true. He won't stop talking about it. He's obsessed with this series.
For those wondering,
I'm
he's
on the
talking
last
about The
season.
Sopranos. But let's finish this.
Is
And I'm
that
on last
not
season.
now gonna come off as ooh, I didn't consider that. And is it not gonna be pretty weird in season 3 when the thing Neville fears most is a black man? Oh,
I forgot about this Bogart scene. That is, oh my god. Because the worst bit is, there's a chance that Neville isn't the only one with Snape as a Bogart in the entirety of Hogwarts.
In
Huh.
fact, Snape has had a reputation of terrifying and or abusing his students that were not
Yep.
from Slytherin House.
Ladies and
Ah.
gentlemen, you've managed to make the allegations worse. Right there. It gets crazier.
oh dear God. Harry's dad viciously bullied Snape when they were kids, and he said the reason was he didn't like that he existed.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, James Potter went, it's just that he exists that I don't like. I'm like,
And
You don't.
just for the-
Nice.
So context, part of that is because he had a thing for Lily since they were young.
Yeah.
you know what? You know what's funny? I was bullied in high school by a Colombian have, and I was clearly a have not. You want to know what she called me?
The worst slur ever that we can't say onto YouTube because then we get in trouble.
No, she called me an it, a thing.
Oh, okay, that's not that. It is
Yeah.
that,
yeah.
but it is that.
And also,
well,
as
that's
this is
enough.
about to point out, they hang Severus upside down from a tree.
Is James now
Yeah.
a massive racist? Maybe it won't be that bad. Didn't he hang him from a tree?
Yeah,
They did
upside
say,
down
yeah,
from a tree.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some words about the Half-Blood Prince thing, but we get there when we get there.
At one point? Ah, crap. Come to think of it, people are constantly mocking Snape for the way he looks and saying there's something off about him, and he keeps getting passed over for the job he wants.
Yeah.
Mind you, while also teaching potions, which is chemistry but plus insanity when it comes to magic. Because the put a stopper in
Yeah.
death speech, he's not exaggerating. Potions is that overpowered.
And
Okay.
yes, fun fact: some of the ingredients
Okay,
he
let me go
lists
close
for
the door.
some of the ingredients that he mentions in potion making actually brought up in the apothecary diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're
here's the
legit
thing,
things.
so that
Okay.
Oh yeah.
a fun tidbit: the reason why people believe that goat stomachs could cure you from poison, aka a bezoar, is because goats can't eat anything without suffering from negative effects.
Oh.
Anything. So they
including
thought
tin
that,
cans.
including
yeah.
poisonous plants that would normally kill a human, such as
Okay.
monk's hood.
Monk's Hood, right. Monk's Hood.
Chelsea, that plant is so toxic that people have to wear gloves just
Oh,
to
where?
touch it.
Oh, touch it. Okay.
You can't
That's how bad it is.
hand that you can't handle it through gloves that aren't gonna keep it from touching your skin. Like leathers, certain leather gloves can't be used to handle that stuff. It's that poisonous.
Okay, I believe you.
And it's really gonna hit different when he calls himself the Half-Blood. Okay, enough. Here's what we'll
Okay,
do.
pause,
We'll just cut.
man. Pause. I gotta say something about this.
Go for
What?
it.
Okay, so I was bullied a lot in school because I was mixed race. A lot of things I was called was half breed.
Ladies
So, yeah,
and
the
gentlemen,
Half-Blood
that is a
Prince-
landmine no one ever wants to step on. And Warner
Okay.
Brothers went head first.
He did, apparently, yeah.
Yeah,
Like that
swan
was my
diving.
first thought. I'm like, that was my first thought. Like, that is gonna hit way different. 'Cause I have
This
to live
is
through
the
that
joke
stuff.
that the guy makes, because there's more we can bring up about Snape, but
All of those scenes out of the show, alright? We'll just make it less like the books. But we told people the whole reason we were doing this was to include more from the books. Oh, come on, that was never the reason, and we all know it.
This is Shaggy.
short version, people are guessing that they actually just did this for both money and what some might call good boy or like social points with certain groups of people on a very certain political side that love to be loud online.
Brownie points, basically?
Yeah,
Or
basically,
something.
that's what I'm looking for. But the other problems with Snape are kind of stupid because when I lay them out, these are true factual statements. But when said about a black man, they seem very, very more stereotypical. He technically has a gang sign, a tattoo on his arm from when he was a teenager / young adult with a gang that became a terrorist group. Because the Death Eaters are all branded by Voldemort. Almost said Dumbledore for some silly reason. No, they're branded by Voldemort, aka Tom Riddle, with what is effectively known as the Dark Mark, which is effectively, in some fan fiction interpretations, a slave brand. It's literally a case of you're connected to Voldemort directly, and if it starts to cause pain, it's because he's summoning you.
Oh.
It's literally, he has gang ink from his teenage years on his arm. There is no way that doesn't bite them in the ass. Pardon my language.
Also, my 2 cents. Making Snape black doesn't work on a cultural level since Snape came from one of the poorest areas of Great Britain and had an abusive alcoholic father and an abused mother who was a witch. By doing that, it 1 lessens the cultural significance. 2, it feeds into horrific negative stereotypes about black men.
Yeah. And again, the only way you could make that worse is to make the dad be absent, which at that point, I don't think there'd be any winning because there's no end of jokes with that, and not even that funny ones. I'm trying to think, what other things were there? Let's see. There was... Oh, yeah, the entire thing with Lily Potter. So Lily and Snape were friends growing up. And he still pined for her. To the point, he accidentally, when being helped by her during a fight with him and James and the Death Eaters nearby watching, he, having to keep up appearances, calls her Mudblood.
Yep.
That's when he said Harry?
No, that's Lily.
Time.
Lily being called that, and that's what led her right into James' arms. Because that's when they cut off. Severus regretted it the whole time. This is the equivalent now of a black man having to yell at a chick he likes to keep the guys off his back.
I think that we could go to short soon.
Yeah, we're gonna just...
Because the hot takes is just you guys arguing and me as like, I'm not gonna cuss, but at any point
there's a reason this is first. This is beyond stupid. This isn't even the dumbest take yet is... They also decided to recast the only Indian girls as Italians. Did the mob have something on you guys? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
Wrong here, but they could get pizza.
Here's the thing about Italian mafia, sweetie. They're the type of concrete shoes.
Oh, concrete shoes.
Yeah, no, not that kind of mafia, although that would be funny, because...
Today you come here on my daughter's wedding.
That's also technically an Italian mafia thing, but it's more an ancient cultural thing, it's a whole bit. I'm not going to go into it. But, yeah, let's move on.
The bunny is cultured.
Yeah, you're cultured a bit.
I'm also going on this, too.
Here, check this title. Real things I've seen is a pandemic. No one in the medical field ever wants to hear this.
Hey guys, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I really didn't want to call you, but I was jogging to the car to test my new knee, and all of a sudden, I couldn't catch my breath. Now show them your leg. Oh yeah. For the last 2 days, my leg has looked like this. Have you had surgery on that leg recently? Yeah, he had his knee worked on, and now he's slowly turning into Barney. Oh, DVT. It really hurts to breathe.
Stupid.
1 second. Get the stretcher over here right now. Oh, don't worry about that, man. I can walk to the stretcher. Oh, no. For both of our sakes, I need you to stay as still as possible.
So...
Yeah, you're not supposed to walk on a knee after surgery.
Move that leg and you die was a sentence an EMT friend of mine definitely didn't mean to shout at someone with a DVT. But
sometimes a little note makes me question lives completely.
Here's the thing. A DVT, deep vein thrombosis, aka a blood clot in the leg. If he moves, it can come unstuck and instead get lodged in his heart, lung, or brain, which is obviously bad news. AKA, this man's...
A ticking time bomb?
Well, if he moves the knee, he's seconds from death. They literally not only have to get him on the stretcher, they can't let him bend the knee. Literally ever. They will have to find some way to secure it the entire trip to the ER on potentially very bumpy roads. And yet, this goofus doesn't realize that shortly after knee surgery, you shouldn't be running.
Yeah. I never had that kind of surgery for me before, and even I know better than that.
I've had abdominal surgery. I had to wear the loosest sweatpants I could for almost a month because there was still a tube in me getting the last of the fluids out for weeks after I left the hospital.
I had knee surgery. I knew you did not. I did not have to. I shouldn't have to move my knee. I literally needed crutches for a good bit.
Oh yeah, I was around him during that time. Can confirm.
Okay.
But yeah, that is
True.
a reminder. The nonsense that paramedics and fire departments sees, stuff like Chicago Fire and Chicago PD shows. They don't tell you just how awful it can get. It's there's a reason there's a list every year of things that shouldn't be shoved in places that were. Categorized by ERs, and it gets more insane because some things
Untold
have
Story of the ER or something like that.
no, like certain things just have a word with a number next to them, like action figures, dildos, hamsters, Hot Wheel cars.
Thank you, I guess.
And no, not all up the butt. Some of them somehow wound up in people's stomachs via their mouths.
Some people really need Jesus. That's all I'm gonna say.
And some others really need to
he
start
is
using their
risen.
talents for sword swallowing.
And yet they don't bleed out.
No, some of the action
They
figures...
put the shaft in there. They put the sword shaft in the mouth before they do that, right?
Chelsea, some of the
they
action
will play
figures
down.
were such that they had guaranteed going to cut up esophagus parts, and there was no damage. Checking the entire esophagus, no scratches they could find, no evidence that there'd been any problems or any acid bleed out from it, from the stomach lining, or from any other things. This is a case of how did you pull that off has happened. Those lists pile up every year. In fact, I think next time we can just go
Yay,
through.
Bogo!
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the animator of the Land of Bogo. Land of Bogs. This is why I say you don't need to be a good animator to make entertaining things. You just need to be passable.
Yeah.
I'm going out tonight. Want to come with?
Because
Yeah.
the sheer lack of frames used, this is literally done on a massive budget, but it is also well done.
Mm-hmm.
This is what heart versus budget looks like.
Sorry, I'm catching up on my show.
Uh-oh, the TV broke.
That's something I would do to Ray.
Yeah.
Yes, you would. I am the master introvert of this group. And I mean that. To the point Servant has to check up on me sometimes when we hang out because he thinks I'm being too quiet.
I think you being too quiet, or I think you're like, bro, you okay? You're really quiet up there. Like, I'm worried this man's getting depressed, and I'm like, do I have to intervene?
Yeah, I feel the same way with my fiance sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But also, as someone
Okay.
who's had his introvert moments, I can relate to this.
You're free to come with me.
I'll just watch it on my laptop.
Oh no, the internet's out. Time to
I
touch
keep
some
things just
grass.
on my
I'll read the
computer.
book instead. I just want to stay home.
I'm going.
Now, I
I'm
will
sorry,
say
but if you
this:
do that,
if
I'm sorry, but if you do that to my books, I am unfriending you.
if you did that to my, like, if you tried to cut off my internet, I'd be like, well, I have DVDs and disc drives I can watch this on. I'll be good. And if you tried to smash my computer, you'd lose your knees. I wouldn't play nice. I have an oak wood staff that I used to walk around with that I am literally holding right now, that I would easily just grab it and aim it right at the kneecaps. Also, if you did that to my house, your subscription to breathing will be temporarily suspended while an investigation is carried out. Short answer. The investigation means I proceed to put you in the hospital. And when they arrest me, I claim self-defense and point to they tried to wreck my house / partly succeeded.
Yeah. Take that.
He'll be like Batman. He won't kill you, but your hospital bills will.
Okay.
Ironic bit is I couldn't even be like Bruce Wayne, who would just donate to the hospital and pay the bills. Like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll cover their bills. Batman got a little nuts. Meanwhile, he's actually going, I really need to learn more restraint in his head. But, yeah. Let's see. Where's the other Bogo one we got? Oh, here's the other ones. Let's go with these first.
Who's here first? Ah, the nerds! Greetings, traveler. Was your journey fair?
My map led me true.
Sucks to see you, filth boy.
I wouldn't miss this for the end of the world.
Lena Jane, you've got some nerve showing your face around here.
What up, Square? Is this Bogo's party?
Top, dude.
What's up, dude?
Yeah! Yeah, some
Also, to be
people...
fair-
well, I've literally had to be this occasionally. It is weird being a social chameleon.
I can be like that too. Like I think it's funny. My nerdy friends get surprised when they find out I'm into sports. My sports friends get surprised when they find out I'm a nerd.
Yeah. And then there's this.
Aww.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you have the good grandma who's like this,
Yeah.
Good grandma.
she is the fun grandma. You will always want to be around her.
Here's all their homework. Make sure they eat their vegetables.
Whatever. Bye-bye. Oh, let's party.
They're not allowed to do that.
My house, my rules. Lots ice cream for
I
dinner.
thought it was your
Too
mouth
much
servant.
sugar.
Good to night, Chauncey.
Get the narc, Chauncey.
Yeah, Chauncey.
Ladies
why are
and
you-
gentlemen, there is an old saying for this. Children are parents' gifts to their kids. It is the
Okay.
same vein as "May you live in interesting times" as a Chinese curse. Because if you ever wonder, my mom called the wine about how me and my sister were acting to hers, and she laughed and hanged up the phone.
Yeah. Funny thing, in Baldur's Gate 3, one of the lines that the MC can drop, aka your playable character, be it Dark Urge or regular player, regular self-insert character.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I get for wishing to live in interesting times.
Yeah.
That's what
Because
makes it
that
so much
wish and
fun.
that wish put a parasite in your brain, and you are literally forced to travel to try to find a cure for it.
Yeah. It's also why I honestly, I will say this: the cool grandmas are always the ones who are gonna just load the kids up with sugar,
Give
let
you all
them
the toys
play
you
all
want.
kinds of games, screw at the bedtime, and then send them home to you, hyper and having expectations and desires you can never manage again.
Unfortunately, I didn't have that type of grandmother with my grandmother.
Nah, sad.
Mine was kind of
my-
like that.
If my mom said do a thing, my grandma damn sure I didn't do a thing. Didn't do a thing.
Well, for me, it was because Grandpa was still, to his dying day, a very strict man, but also a very caring grandfather and father. He had rules, and you followed them, or else. My butt still twinges from I remember when just shortly after Dad died, I tried to make off with some stuff that had been thrown in a dumpster because I was kind of in that weird emotional state you are when a family member dies. And he proceeded to show me how little he respected that by outright grabbing me and tanning my hide through my pants. He was an old man at this point, wrinkled, gray hair, and he hit like a truck. That's
I
the
will
only
He's a
reason my
kind like a
gran-
truck.
Well, it's the only reason my grandma never spoiled me is because Grandpa had no nonsense rules when it came to things.
Well, I know with me, like my grandfather was like a second father. Like he actually knew how to motivate me. Like if he needed help around the housework, he's like, help me with this. Like I'll get you a special treat. And he followed through on that. It was not a bluff. And
Grandpa had his moments like that. It's just he had to raise 6 kids.
Yes.
Actually, I remember too, like, so the man never cussed in his life except one time. That one time was when I slipped, broke my knee, and he cussed about the post office because that was the cause of it.
Honestly, if my grandpa was alive to hear about something like that, I would probably have heard snark about the post office myself.
Okay.
But yeah, no. The grandparents' house is one of three things: the party zone, the you will learn responsibilities here and like it, or just kind of neutral place you sleep over and you see fun stuff in the area. Mine was a mix of 2 and 3, with the occasional moments of fun times. Mind you, that's only my mom's parents, so yeah. Now for this.
Also,
Controversial
spoiler
stuff,
alert for the
fun, I guess.
spoiler alerts for the new season, but long story short, Conquest escaped, and
And
shit's
Invincible and
going
Oliver
down,
have to
guys.
deal with it.
yeah.
Donald, are we fully locked down? Yes, sir, though I don't know how any of these will actually help if Conquest chooses to come here.
Oh, you
Wait, is that
have
the
no
same
worry
guy?
about Conquest. Conquest is currently not having any air in his lungs.
It's not Conquest I'm worried about. Son of a bitch!
Hi, American Wizard.
You crying?
Hi.
He let America Wizard in.
Even
For
he who controls
context
the
in this
budget
joke, all these people are effectively Pentagon assets.
Mm-hmm.
and he who controls the budget, who gets annoyed at America Wizard, even realizes Donald's being stupid.
No, Cecil's being stupid. Donald's is the guy with the
Oh, right,
glasses.
right.
Who's,
That was on me. My
that
bad.
happens, but yeah.
Mine made a mistake.
Cecil, why haven't you been picking up the phone? Because I fucking called it!
Yeah. Reminder to all, Madman Fenrir has very little filter except in the text form.
Yeah.
My favorite kind of humor. But the channel has standards. It's PG-13. We have to play by the rules.
Yeah.
Donald, please shoot him.
Stephen and I watch him all the
He's a
time.
Pentagon
So.
ass. I know.
Also, did our boy Fenrir get new glasses?
I think
Yeah, he got new glasses. I
Those
thought
look nice.
I was even asking, is that the same guy?
It is.
Because
Those
he's
look
wearing new
very
glasses.
nice.
Well, yeah, I think it helps considering Donald doesn't wear stuff. Oh no, wait, he does, but probably helps differentiate.
Yeah.
But it would make me feel so much better. I was right! I was right! I was motherfucking right, bitch!
Yeah.
Can you please reel him in? Why don't you reel Conquest back in?
Oh, damn! Okay,
He who controls, even he who controls the budget has no sympathy.
I don't blame him.
crap,
I wouldn't have any
I've-
sympathy for this man, considering it costs $1 billion each time Cecil uses that teleporter. By the way, yes, that's canon. Because this gets brought up as commentary.
I will find a way to defund your entire division. Cecil, shut the fuck up with your liberal use of a teleporter that costs $1 billion every time you fucking use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said $1 billion and he just put it as a 1.
Okay, so one that was basically more than likely a text goof on his own editing side. So, do you know how many times he's basically seen using that thing, even in just a current season?
As much as he wants, like a lot.
Like at least 4 or
20
5,
times.
I think I've seen him use it already. This is season 3. He has been spamming that thing the entire show. This man uses it to get away from Omni-Man at least once. And to get other people away from Omni-Man.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
Just something. Isn't that what they do?
Never
Never mind.
Who Omni-Man
Feel
or
free to
Cecil?
scold me. That's probably not right.
No, I just wanna know who you're talking about specifically.
Omni-Man or somebody doing something wrong. Some bad guy.
No, Omni-Man was just acting like it was just doing his what he figured he had to do with Mark suddenly having powers, because that meant he had to take over the joint. Because it meant humans were compatible with Viltrumites, and their species was barely coming back from the brink of guaranteed extinction.
Oh, like X-Men.
Yeah, there's like 50 Viltrumites.
Yeah. Well, by the time they've recovered from a plague hitting their planet, Nolan was one of 50 left. Which anyone who knows genetics knows there is no way to carry on a species with that low of a number. But yeah, that's probably why Omni-Wind goes nuts, and then that happening is why Cecil spams the teleporter, which again, 1 billion times each used. You could literally run a counter and just come up with a budget so bad only the Pentagon could get away with it.
Oh, so I realized I had my D&D profile up. That's a my bad on my part because I don't have Nitro.
Nah, that's fair.
My Nitro died. I bought it, but it's not working anymore. I can't use sound alerts in other servers anymore.
Discord
Dang
is
it,
butt.
Discord!
Discord is butt, and we know it is butt. Let's finish this.
I will never understand how you have more funding than us. Hey, I may be costly, but I get fucking results!
He does.
Yeah, this is the fact. This is also why in the last season of America Wizard, why he only has a temporary budget suspension and then he gets it cleared up, because the only way they would approve that is he gets results. Doesn't matter if it's not as big as they wanted, he gets results, he is therefore a more valuable asset.
Who, Muffles? More valuable
No, America
asset?
Wizard. Though Muffles is a good call for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's see. We got a few other ones from America Wizard. I think we do those and then we get to some of the other stuff. This is something
His
he did with
girlfriend.
his girl for Scooby-Doo.
Or is it his wife? I'm not sure.
Girlfriend.
I think,
Okay, I was right on
girlfriend,
the
they
first
haven't
one.
married yet.
Jinkies.
Nias Begonis!
Yes,
Holy shit!
Why? It's usually a guy in a mask.
Nah, I've been around enough monsters. That's definitely a monster. I'm okay with this either way. Should I start digging? Ah! My name is George! Ah! Oh, wait, you're a dude in a mask? Of course I'm a guy in a mask, you! Ah!
Wait, if you thought it was a monster, why would you shoot it to me?
Because it's hysterical. I'm rapping out. Do you guys have cops in this universe?
We do, but they're incompetent.
Bitchin'! Fred, start digging!
I mean, they are.
Join our chaotic Discord through Patreon. Link is in the bio.
Yeah, join the Discord. It's fun.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, little kitten Wario.
Yeah, they literally have a pet section that's called Church of Oreo in their server.
Aww.
Budget
And
man
now
last.
an example of one of the other sides of the he who controls the budget dealing with America Wizard. I don't listen to this insanity because.
All right, boys, get comfortable. We're gonna have to lay low for a bit. Yellow. Why did my assistant just hand me a bottle of bourbon along with your spending report for the last op? I thought it would soften the blow. What did you? What the fuck? Hear me out. You were meant to go and collect a grimoire. I said, hear me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear one of the biggest budget crash outs of overspending ever. The only reason we know it's fiction is this is coming from a Pentagon official.
Pentagon.
Yeah, actual Pentagon to date wouldn't care. They would just ask if they need more.
How did you use 10,000 rounds of 12 gauge? The German and the gunsmiths at the base helped me figure out how to make a belt-fed 12 gauge.
Ladies and gentlemen, Grunts and Craft at work.
Yay, I guess. I'm not sure.
Grunts and Craft is what Fat Electrician calls it when the infantry gets a hold of some duct tape and an idea and has plenty of time and spare parts on their hands.
What are the babies doing with the tape? Infantry. Infants. Babies.
No. We mean like the basic grunts in the military. Like the privates in the
They said
low rank.
babies in the military? Just kidding. Pulling your legs. Fun.
Chelsea, I can never tell with you. I'm not upset. I'm trying not to laugh out loud because it's still funny that I can't tell. But yeah.
At my point, I just do the Penguins of Madagascar thing. Just smile and wave.
Yeah.
Side note, there is a repair cost because the one-of-a-kind gas system and barrel got warped badly. Sweet Jesus, air support strafing run? Show of force, show of force? Hey, 2 of those didn't drop any ordnance. Those were shows of force, and you know, we gotta show people why they can't talk shit. Huh! $10,000 worth of gauze? Oh, I was hoping you would overlook that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, Chelsea, do you know what gauze is?
It sounds like glue. I could go look it up.
It's that weird stretchy kind of tape stuff they use in medical stuff to bind bandages to you in like hospitals. You know, like they'll put like a cotton swab over an injection thing and just wrap it around that.
Oh, that's a thing when I had with my tooth.
Yeah, that's gauze.
Okay.
Gauze is that stuff they wrap it around your arm and like they use it to make sometimes they use it to make makeshift casts and whatnot. They'll put it over surgery sites sometimes if it's like a knee or something.
Yeah, I can confirm the knee thing.
Yeah. Or if you have like a kind of a hole or anything that you need to have heavily bandaged, you just use some gauze and a little cotton patch and just tie it there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the reason he can try and explain this one is probably one of the silliest excuses I've ever seen using gauze in my life.
What did you use that much gauze on? We TP'd the dungeon and then we wrapped up Muffles like a mummy.
For those who've forgotten, Muffles has an arm that is literally a mimic that is now fused to his body. Fully.
Oh my god.
He is officially probably part mimic. It is also the one hand you can't feed Canadian barbarians goose because the goose might lose.
Yeah.
And the bourbon.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to lay low for a little bit, so if you want to join me in laying low in Madman Fenrir's Discord, it's available through his Patreon. Link is in the bio.
But I was wondering, it is right there.
Yeah.
Alright, boys, get comfortable.
And now, let's see. We have Casual Geographic and also this.
Oh, that's right.
Another brother.
Yeah. This guy's a case of, Ricky, do you got insurance? Or do you even Google? Because sometimes this guy's foolishness is beyond me. The Azula one is extra retarded. I don't think I pulled that up.
And he from Invincible? Yeah, but he weak. Why you say that? Well, he don't got his own logo, and he ain't even make the Guardians. And you know how they be moving. Oh yeah, he trash, man. Don't let that O in his chest fool you.
If you know, you probably have a good idea who this is.
Yeah, I know who this is.
Wait, O in his chest? You say he weak? Yeah, bro. He just some purple dude. Purple? No.
He's a purple now. Down.
There's only one guy in Invincible who's purple with an O on their chest. Spoiler alert, it's Mark's younger brother.
And ask the Molo twins how weak he is. Oh wait, you can't. They're dead.
You better find out that.
Is this who I think it is? Nah. I know what you're thinking. It ain't Rex. That ain't who I think it is, bro. Oh. But hey, don't worry. It's just Oliver.
Rex was my question.
Let that crash out, man. That crash out is
just Oliver?
I have legit acted like that when some people have said something that dumb, and I think you guys have even seen me occasionally go into a rant where I've had to go off because how do you not know that?
Every time you go on a rant, I mute you because that's loud.
I apologize for that, but also you can't blame me when sometimes it feels like I'm him in this scenario, having to explain what I consider basic knowledge to someone who forgot how to use Google.
Yeah, bruh. But see, when I first saw him, I was like, is that Omni-Man? But then I had an epiphany. He don't got no mustache. Yo, that's way too big of a word for that outfit. And bro, we got a lot to worry about. Do you know who he is?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is me sometimes.
It definitely is.
Ironically, it's not usually against you, Chelsea.
What?
No, it's only sometimes. Because sometimes I like, please tell me you're trolling me, and you usually are. So I'm thankful for that. Because I worry if you were ever this oblivious, because I'd have to be like, Chelsea, please tell me we don't have to explain something like this to you. It might break you. Because, yeah, imagine being in a position you don't know who Oliver is, and you challenged him to a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having to have it explained. Yeah, there's a reason I sometimes worry. But, yeah, this is going to get crazier.
I know enough. He's still a hero. So he ain't gonna be moving crazy. All right, you right. Maybe he chilled out a little bit. Not to mention he look about 12.
For those who aren't aware, this Oliver ages ridiculously fast. He's probably not even a full actual year old.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm going to remind everyone, this is a case of a very fast-aging person until he hits, like, physical maturity, then he kind of slows down. Which makes schooling ridiculously impossible. Meaning...
Kind of like Anos Voldigode from the Misfit of Demon Academy.
Yeah, it's like diapers to boxers in a month.
Mm-hmm.
No! See? He chilled out. We good. No, Ricky, no! He ain't chilled out. He just heating up, bruh. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can ask some of the people he fought in the past to help us out a little bit. Oh, yeah, good idea, Ricky. Hey, Marlon Twin #1, you trying to help us out? Oh, you can't say nothing? Because Oliver made your jaw so separately, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, that's not funny, but whatever.
No, that is a funny moment, because it's like, yeah, that is what happened there.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, #2? Oh, Oliver made sure he don't got a body to stand on. Okay, I see your point. Exactly. You know what he be doing to bad guys? But hey, we ain't bad guys, though. We still good people. We just do bad things every once in a while. That don't make us bad guys. That just makes us human. Wow. You just come up with that? Yeah, why? No reason. So Oliver, you don't want to fight him? I don't want to fight him. All right, fine, bro. Let's get some cheeseburgers. Any from...
Now, for those not aware, they have legit had crash out moments that turn into, lock in when dealing with people like Homelander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is I know Homelander's a TV show, but the graphics make it look like it's a video game.
Who wants to explain? Because I don't want to be that guy.
Oh yeah, it probably is, or not. Right,
no, Homelander's a character, not a show.
Yeah.
Do you know the show The Boys?
The Boys? Yeah, with the little kids?
No, Chelsea.
Wrong Boys.
The Boys.
Oh, the adult Boys.
The Boys is a parody of comic book heroes being owned by corporations, and Homelander is considered the evil Superman of that world.
And also weaker than any other superpowered being. There's one channel that half of his stuff is just having Homelander be clowned on by almost everyone. To the point the Powerpuff Girls next to him are gods.
Yeah.
And don't get me
Say that again for the audience. The Powerpuff Girls compared to Homelander, statistically speaking, are gods. And this is supposed to be the Superman ripoff.
And don't get me started on his preferences. Oh my god, I gag so much.
Yeah.
You can skip the preferences. I get it. It's meh.
It was run to nearest trash can and throw up in the nearest trash can like JonTron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heck, half the time someone does like fan art of him versus the Powerpuff Girls, they just have Buttercup do it because she likes fighting.
Let her beat his ass.
Let's see if I can find that, because I think that'll be a funny bit, because at least they've rolled up on him once. If I can find.
Hey, babe, give you that hat. Would you wear it?
Who?
Probably would. Like, you're talking about the Rastafarian bike hat?
Yeah, the Rastafarian hat.
Yeah, I probably
I'd
would.
actually want one of those. That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
No,
I would wear it.
Just kidding.
Well, I thought you were talking
just
about the
look
blue
up
hat.
channel name in Homelander on YouTube.
Right.
Hold on. Should actually.
Instead of
Well, I thought you were talking about the blue hat. It's like, well, no, not the blue hat, because that's Detroit Lions, and I'm a Vikings fan, so no. But the
I keep forgetting how many. Okay.
just look up Homelander on his.
But yeah, the red, green, and yellow hat, I could totally rock that.
Yeah. Here it is.
This is Superman?
Yeah.
This is Superman? Yeah, why? Because it's like he got the powers of him, but no personality. He ain't even smiling, bro. Wait, is this injustice? No, I made sure of that. Okay, good.
That's fair.
Wait, why is he drinking?
Yeah.
Injustice
He gets his
Superman
protein
has
with
no
some milk.
simpy.
No.
By the way, YouTube.
Injustice Superman Simpy died with Lois.
Yeah.
But then again, that version of Wonder Woman made him worse. She was pretty much she was pretty much the
devil on his shoulder.
Musical edition of Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd. I'm sorry. As much as I do like Helena Bonham Carter as an actress, I did not like how she played that character, because Mrs. Lovett was Sweeney's enabler and the one pushing him to do atrocious acts.
Yeah.
The one movie, I don't know what Tim Burton was thinking by making Helena Bonham Carter play an abuse victim of Sweeney's rather than a co-conspirator, enabler, and the one pushing him.
What are autistic traits? Let's continue this nonsense.
No! What the?
Now Ricky knows he done.
Okay, don't be mad. Don't make me. What, boy? Okay, I know I said this was Superman, but that might not have been accurate. It ain't accurate. Then who the heck we going against? Homelander?
Well,
the moment of realization.
Ooh,
ladies and gentlemen, if you ever think you hear something like that whistling in the back of your head or just around you despite not hearing it when someone tells you something, you're about to have one of the moments of realizing you might be hosed. Badly.
Homelander? Yeah, I mean, he kind of like Superman. Yeah, if he was raised by Palpatine, I told you to get Superman.
That ain't wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong. Chief Palpatine would turn Superman into Homelander.
Oh, yeah. He that manipulative, he that cunning, and he that trifling.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to see that now. I want to see a crossover like that just for the sake of it being that kind of good horror. Because there's no way to save a version of Superman that becomes Palpatine's greatest asset.
Supes did get brainwashed by Darkseid in the animated series.
Yeah. The irony is that was already grown-up Supes. Imagine Palpatine having access to Kal-El as a child for his entire life.
Oh, no!
Yeah. That's why he's kind of flipping out. Because that's not Superman. That makes Injustice Superman look tame. Okay? Like, that plus Vader with Palpatine? I guarantee you one thing. Vader's never getting in the suit. Another thing, he might be able to convince Padme to join up with them, which already makes that more horrifying. And third, the Jedi don't get to live.
Oh, God.
They don't have access to kryptonite. They ain't living. And of course, the odds of Palpatine having access to Kryptonian tech and being able to farm everything out of Jor-El's data matrix is ridiculously easy because the Star Wars universe is kind of OP with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Palpatine more so because this man has plots. Outside of the Project Necromancer stuff, but yeah.
At least he got a code. Okay, bro, I messed up, but maybe he won't be tripping. Dog, it's Homelander. He always tripping. He ain't even a hero. Yeah, he said we the real hero. No, bro, seriously. He be taking out his own teammates. He destroyed a plane full of innocent people.
Yeah. Those who forget,
He hasn't been.
he literally did that because his go-to move is everything gets the eye lasers.
Yeah, look how bad the baby bunny is. Harry, all this innocent people. Look at the babe.
Yeah.
The only reason he got a son is because he...
Ladies and gentlemen, the lock-in happens right there. Because he remembers the only reason Homelander has a son.
Oh, no.
Chelsea, do you know why?
He got busy! No,
Not in a good
why.
way.
In a bad way, I know.
Yeah, the hard R.
Yes, I know.
He pretty much pulled a redo of Healer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And worse, in context of the boys, it was on Billy Butcher's wife. And he already didn't like soups. That's why he winds up joining the boys. Is because of Homelander. 90% of everything is because of crap Homelander does in that context. And Homelander exists because of Vought, which exists because of a literal Nazi. In universe. I kid you not. It's why our boy here is suddenly in lock-in mode because, yeah, they have standards. Listen.
Hey, yo, question. What up? That depressed girl on that building. He do that too? Mm-hmm. I know we ain't heroes, but we don't gotta be villains.
And that's where I like the boys. I like those boys right there because this is a fun channel. Again, it's a Monquick on YouTube. Go sub.
He has a Twitch. I don't know if he live streams.
I would say check it out later, but yeah, no. Where is the... Now we have two things. First is our casual geographic, and second is this.
Okay, but first, let's do a casual geographic to get the video out of the way. Then we'll huddle and discuss who's the worst.
And I'm gonna.
And by huddle, you mean cat.
Well, I mean we can also throw the book versions at them because I have comments I can make about John Hammond in both versions.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution. This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtooth, predatory...
Huh?
Aren't you gonna make it full screen?
I could.
Sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess, and the ability to cryo-sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want.
Say what?
Could you rewind it then, since you full screened it?
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution. This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtooth, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess, and the ability to cryo-sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it.
That's overpowered as heck, and gators have it.
Oh, yeah.
Swamp puppies.
I mean, yes. But
That is
that's
kinda
terrifying.
Swamp puppies with teeth.
But it means this is an apex predator that can survive a fate with Elsa, cause gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down, where they'll just stick their snouts above water and leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them. Mind you, brumations not sleep, and gators will move around on days when it's warmer, but it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later, cause you're gonna learn that now.
Nobody. I really hope somebody never brings gators to Minnesota.
There are at least one gate. There's at least some in the Minnesota Zoo, and I think there might be some in Como.
I'm good with captivity, but regular in the wild, heck no.
No, if that happened, Minnesota would have there'd be a war between them and the moose, and we'd know. The bears don't mess with the moose. The minute something goes to war with the moose, the rest of the natural animals sit back and watch like it's a show, like it's a gladiator of who's gonna run this. It's like snakes in Florida, ironically enough. They eat everything because they got too much.
Well, here's the problem. We have an invasive species in the anaconda because morons brought this to Florida as an exotic pet. But unfortunately, because they don't know how to take care of it properly, they just let it loose in the wild, and it's killing our raccoon population.
And also occasionally eating everything up to and including the gators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the snakes are also the anaconda's also trying to eat people there. But let's get back to the gators.
Not only is the mame gecko the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator. And whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. But real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept.
Oh, could you pause there?
Yeah.
Yes, the third one, that one, the gharial, that's an Indus River Valley gator.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, their snouts are that long.
That is not AI. And yes, the Cayman are like the cheetahs.
Mm-hmm.
And
But mind you, the most disrespected out of the quartet here.
yeah. And in case you're wondering, the difference between the gator and the crocodile is mostly the snout.
Well, snout and scales, depending on where the croc came from.
Yeah. That's why I say mostly.
Nile crocs have a bit of a yellowish coloration to the scales. Regular American gators have it mostly as a dark black gray top with a yellow underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
I would know this because I went to Gatorland and I actually got to sit on the back of one.
The actual
it let to tell the
mentioned by
tale.
Gabriel Iglesias.
What?
You've been to the
And
actual...
you lived to tell the tale by riding the gator.
You went to the actual Gatorland that Gabriel Iglesias has mentioned?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. That's hilarious.
And yes, this is a joke that they dropped when I was visiting. That the gator I was sitting on was named Milkshake, and the reason she was named such was because she brought the Gator Boys to the yard. Their words, not mine.
Oh, that's hilarious. Let's continue.
Even funnier, one of the gators in there was named Ganondorf.
I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary. And
that looks like a very weird checkerboard pattern. I'm all for that kind of look, because that looks neat.
Caught in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
that includes its walnut-sized brain, because...
By the way, yes, walnut-sized brain does not detract from the sheer viciousness. It probably adds to it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crocodiles are intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to snatch their souls. That would already be bad enough. Without the
Yeah, that's bait. That's bait.
implication The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman with prep time, except they've had 100 million years to plot. Another revelation is that the dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish.
Yeah, people, if you're wondering, that wasn't just a stereotype. They put in old cartoons and whatnot. This is legitimately a thing they do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason no one wants any gators, doing that. Because
Oh,
again,
not
it's
like
something
Captain Hook's scared of the crocodile alligator.
The ticking crocodile. It's a crocodile, but to be honest, Peter Pan put that crocodile on Hook because he threw his hand into it and it got a taste for him.
Which is the only reason that croc has the clock is because they did that to keep tabs on the gator. I keep tabs on Croc. Because quite honestly, if that wasn't the case, Hook would have lost more than his hand.
Yeah.
That Croc was legitimately sneaky.
In the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chompy boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another example where a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by two smaller crocs waiting. Now the implication there is somehow the giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this, it's just as expert Vladimir Dene will tell you, it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you, and their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours of watching crocs, and has witnessed things like a stronger, heavier croc driving fish to shore, with smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish. Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them.
Yeah.
Actual Chip Campbell.
I'll remind everyone, crocs and gators are extra terrifying when you realize their hunting methods aren't the most terrifying thing about them.
Here's the other thing. Crocodiles are a lot more vicious than the alligators.
Alligators are a little more chill at times until they're hungry. Crocs are always having beef to throw. Or demanding beef.
And the most dangerous of crocs are the salties from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most dangerous ones. And those are the ones that can and will kill you.
There's a reason Steve Irwin earned a casual, friendly badass label from most of the internet when he was alive. And why his son picking up his work has everyone effectively going the Return of the King memes, or like the Lion King memes of Simba, because it's about what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same with his sister, though. Bendy's just apparently contributing just as much.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Oh, fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Robert Irwin, Steve Irwin's kid, got to star in an episode of Bluey.
Neat.
Oh, we'll have to look that up. Well, I mean, I'll look it up on our time. We're not doing that on the podcast. I'll just adapt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he was in Zootopia too.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Neat. All right.
Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator is capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat docks. What he described were two groups of gators, one in the semicircle formation driving fish to the shallows and using the boats to corner them, and the other group in the background resting, or more like waiting. Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would sub in and take his place.
Meaning they were literally doing this in shifts. They are smart and organized enough to hunt in shifts. Diva, to be honest, I never want to visit Florida because of the gators. There are reasons I want to visit Florida, but this makes me not want to visit Florida.
I visit Florida all the time. I love Disney World.
Well, it's just you need to know where to go and where not to go. Anywhere there's a body of water, avoid it, unless it's the sea.
See, I'm a Minnesotan. I'm used to bodies of water being stuff you casually stumble on in a walk.
Well, funny thing. My fiance and I were getting back from a dinner date at a Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a pond not too far away from where we live, and a gator was just basking on the side of that pond, and it was a man-made pond.
Yeah. That doesn't help me.
And we just knew as long as we stayed where we were at on the sidewalk and that gator stayed where it was at, we were fine. And that gator was a good 50 feet away from us.
If I visit, I'm getting a casual shotgun just for walking around. And if they ask, I'll mention this is in case of gators.
Basically, the rule is as long as you stay where you're at above where the water is, like a good 50, 100 feet away from the water, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes up to you and it's as big as you, that's when you call animal control.
Fair enough.
But if you're going near the water where they're at, then you the dumbass.
I still would have to fight half my instincts, but I might be able to learn that. Still would want a shotgun, just for visiting purposes.
Well, Florida is a pro-gun state, so when we have a case in our house, take your pick.
That'll be if I ever visit, but let's go on.
This went on for hours, until it got hot enough for them to clock out and go their ways. But when Campbell went back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snap trap.
Nom.
Yeah, again, it's about 60 gators hunting, another 60 on standby, effectively, or in resting space.
Oh, look at that popping out. That looks so cool and bad.
Yeah. Now, they're organized enough to not only do that kind of hunting, but do it on a consistent, scheduled basis every morning, and literally have it be that much of a system of knowing who goes out after another one gets food and retires to the back. That level of instinctive coordination for small brains is terrifying. Because it implies they only haven't taken over because they're still technically unintelligent creatures. If evolution had more bearing to it, I'd be very worried for the future, because these would be what would replace humanity. They would. Without exception.
Animal Farm.
But your ignorance ain't bliss. In fact, it's what sustains them. In many spots in Africa and Australia, people are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and definitely not past twice. It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock your daily routine, and getting too predictable around a professional camper means the croc will take note, just to ambush you the next chance they get, and they'll use very little energy to do it. It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with no regard for your research. And at worst, Senor Snappy studies your habits enough to put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most
Yeah, that's terrifying.
dangerous kind of croc is actually an investigator. But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be a living doormat if you don't have the hardware to back it up. And no animal has more disrespectful hardware than a motion-activated bear trap.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what he means by motion-activated bear trap. A lot of gators will be like, a lot of crocodilians will,
Yeah, you throw like the watermelon and then he eats it and it goes.
That's just them showing off most times. I don't even think they eat the melon.
Oh, they eat watermelon too.
Okay, but yeah, this should tell you everything.
Not the buffalo.
Well, here's the thing about Gatorland gators.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just given a diet of meat. They're also given a diet. They're also given some vegetables and squash in their diet. In fact, during Halloween, they actually fed the gators some pumpkins, which they proceeded to smash with their jaws.
Neat.
Fun.
Yeah. As opposed to the bison here, who apparently is realizing he is seconds from death.
The crocodile is the most physically unfair predator on Earth because virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for those not aware, yes, they have multiple sets of eyelids.
One's to cover up their eyes while they're in the water, and the other is to act as a shield on top.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is for crying.
I don't know if that's true or not, but gators are already scary. Let's keep going.
They have the strongest recorded bite force of any animal at 3,700 pounds per square inch.
For those wondering, that is almost 2 tons.
Oh, that's a lot.
Also, I think those are gator babies in the gator mouth.
Making its jaw a steel trap, capable of damage on par with victims of war. But
as long as it doesn't it doesn't swallow the babies or something. I don't know.
No, it's not. This is like apparently what they can do is simulated to mutilated war blast injuries. In short, mines, grenades, and general explosives around the legs.
Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the other bit. In water, humans are weaker and slower than other prey animals, have difficulty to balance their body, and are easier to be hunted. This is, again, this is why you're advised in Africa, don't be predictable.
maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Crocs have death cones designed to keep prey in its custody, meaning if a leather log bites you, you have the lowest chance of escape, which gets worse when the croc proceeds to drown you, and with crocs being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours, trust that you'll pass tense long before he does. The only thing with those teeth is, they're great for grabbing, useless for chewing, so they'll slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any animal, the death roll. But crocs
the death roll. That is indeed the most brokest finishing move.
also have the most acidic stomach of any animal and can
Chelsea, picture the barrel roll from Star Fox, but have it be a gator.
A gator who has a part of you clamped. It doesn't matter what part. You will flip on that part with the gator. Oh boy.
That's why when they secure gators, they have a top jaw rope. So this way, if it does a death roll, it won't carry you with it. It won't carry you while you're holding the rope.
Yeah. Go ahead and gush for a sec. I gotta mute my mic and deal with my bladder. Give me a sec.
Okay, so a 15-minute break.
More, just talk for a bit. Diva, go off more on your gator facts, because you know more.
Or I could do dancing.
Well, here's the thing about Florida gators. As long as you don't bother them, they won't bother you. But as soon as you start feeding them, that's when you get the man-eaters. And unfortunately, some tourists have the most brilliant idea of packing raw meat and start feeding it to wild gators, and they don't realize that gators can start connecting that food to you, and as soon as they can make that connection, that's when the man-eaters come out.
Yeah, or if you touch the babies and then they don't want the baby anymore because it got touched by a human.
Oh no, they'll kill you for touching the baby.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
One time, my uncle family were boating and we were trying to fish. A little baby gator swam by and kept attacking our bobber. But we also heard, not too far away, a low growl, meaning Mama was present and watching.
Like, I want to play. You better not touch my kid.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we decided that it was time to bail out.
Yeah, it's like, where did my... Oh. Couldn't be my mom just made them go away.
And here's the funny thing. Another time when we went to the St. John's River, there's a spring in one of the inlets, and right when we were entering into before we could enter into the spring, there was a gator sitting on a log, and he just had his little feet down, just slumped on the log, and he just looked at us and went, "Sup?"
Hey, he's like, hey, babe, you come here often? Yes, because I'm a chronically alcoholic. I'm gonna go put on something more comfortable, just as long as it's not a fish head. It's a fish again. It's SMG movies.
Funny thing, we finally got into the spring, and so our British guests wanted to go swimming. So Tommy, my uncle, he jumped into the lake. He jumped into the spring, and so did everybody else except my fiance. And he pretty much and he's like, "Here's how to tell if there's a gator in the water. Splash. There's a gator in the water."
Yeah.
On Splash, yeah.
Gators are a little more terrifying than bears because bears at least might give you a chance to not be eaten. Gators, the minute they know you've got food, are not going to care.
Does National Geographic have a video of bunnies or something?
I think he might.
We don't have to look it up. I'm just wondering.
Well, like I said, this is what we Floridians have to deal with on a daily basis.
Meanwhile, Minnesotans have mooses and we hunt them yearly.
Well, we do occasionally eat gator tail. It's a rare treat, but we do get it.
If I understand right, you have very high restrictions when it comes to hunting the gators, though.
Yes. Trust me, somebody that I knew who worked for DOT ended up finding an entire shipment full of gator skins and meat.
Yeah,
and they had to
go ahead.
And they had to arrest the guy that owned the truck.
Yeah, meanwhile, Minnesotan, you just need a general hunting license to go after moose and maybe some caveats to understand what you need to hunt them with. But beyond that, it's like, yeah, no, go hog wild.
Yeah, basically, you're only allowed to eat the tail. But the tail is where all the muscle is.
Yeah. And also, yeah, you know how you mentioned the gator's stomach acid? There's a reason why them having that is required, because again, they don't chew. They break off bits and swallow the bits whole.
Dissolve bones, horns, and hooves. But they're also bloodbenders, with a heart that controls exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the...
Yeah.
Look at those nice, shiny white pearls.
Yeah. So, to recap, the acid dissolves everything. Flesh, bone, horns. And for those who aren't aware, most things with horns that a gator will go after, or a crocodile, are tougher than most bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, as a reason I bring up moose, because the few times that moose and any one of these kinds have gone against each other, there's never been a clear chance of who will win. Sometimes it's the gator. Sometimes it's the moose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Carbon dioxide in it only makes the acid more corrosive. And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bulletproof. Crocodiles are covered in osteoderms, and armor plating blocks the teeth of other animals from doing damage.
Yeah, and the bulletproof comment, that's not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Diva, what examples do you know about this particular bit of nonsense?
Well, I know that you have to have if you're gonna kill a gator, you're gonna have to aim directly at the eyes. And even then, your bullet might still bounce off.
Yeah.
Because trying to aim a bullet at the tail or the midsection, it ain't gonna work. Not even with
select the bullet tail.
You have two options to guarantee you kill a gator or a crocodile. The eyes are one. The other isn't the underbelly. It's if you get a shot in while their mouths are open. And you have to be such a fast sharpshooter. You're like that one guy who's so fast he can shoot 2 bullets in the blink of an eye.
Or you're Vash the Stampede.
That too, but then again, that old guy could give Vash a run for his money because I'm not kidding on that. They had to get a speed camera and it barely noticed him because he was quick draw firing from the hip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it only caught maybe 10 frames total of movement, if that much. Might have been a lot less. Just, that's an impressive power that took training to get, and even he would have to be very, very fortunate to guarantee a hit on either the eyes or the inside the mouth of a gator. And the latter might not actually do the deed.
Anyway, more gator facts.
Which is why there's more than one case of a proc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that cancel out any disturbances made in the water. Basically cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile.
Look at that chocolate milk water.
That's very muddy water, but that's also terrifying.
Well, the thing is that in Florida, we have these things called tea rivers where the water is completely brown. And it comes from the cypress trees that line the water.
So it isn't from someone pooping in the water.
No, it's from trees. If you want an example of things being dumped in the water, that's sadly the Mississippi around here.
And here's another thing. Tannic acid, which is what you usually find in tea, is actually in those cypress roots. Can be found in those cypress, hence why it's called tea rivers.
Mm-hmm. But this is also why they are also terrifying, because it's not just that the armor plating makes them bulletproof. It also, if you remember that little bit we just saw a few seconds ago, makes it so they barely, if ever, put off ripples.
Mm-hmm. Cloaking technology, water.
Yeah, cloaking technology via the water on an apex predator. Ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of why I don't think any potential invasion by anything, say, alien or even just from another dimension that makes them kind of demonic is going to be a thing that, you know, we have to worry about them facing us. No, we just need to weaponize them and to have to face the gators and the bears and the mooses and the bees and everything else and let them deal with them.
Hopefully that bear is a polar bear because those things are carnivores and there's no surviving a polar bear attack.
Yeah, but
Coca-Cola.
all
Wait,
other
that's a
bears
wrong
are
polar bear.
omnivores. They will gladly devour anything. Also, so are pigs.
Oh, yeah.
Pigs make bacon.
Yes, but pigs also guarantee that a body disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And by disappears, I mean not just the flesh, not just the organs, not just the joints, but also the bones. Nothing gets left behind unless it's completely inorganic and inedible. And in that case, if you get left with that, just give it to the goats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Banana.
Oh, side fun bit. There are certain farms in the non-suburban and urban areas of Minnesota, out in the more rural areas, that have a lot of pigs and a couple of goats on them.
Ooh.
There's a reason why the song on Try That in a Small Town both terrified and enraged people in the cities, especially in places like Minnesota. They knew what that was.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't just a warning. That was a go ahead and try that, and you won't come back.
Anyway.
Yep.
The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot. So they also have a built-in thermostat.
Yeah, that's just more on the LP. By the way, I really wish I could do that myself. I overheat far too much. Far too easily. Anyway.
There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater, lactic acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are made of mineralized bones, the minerals will slightly dissolve if the acid gets too high, releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and raise the pH. Crocs are nature's nepo babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up to 20 feet long and pressing
Yeah, they did grow that big and that heavy.
the scales at often over 2,000 pounds, it's
Meaning, literally, longer than I am tall, and I'm over 6 feet, and right around the 1 ton mark in weight.
Oh.
They're that big, they're that OP, and they have almost superpower-like abilities. There is a reason genetic splicing gets consideration in serious scientific circles and military contractors because of things like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this boy right here. Right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm circling the gator's head with the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not like they needed more handouts, especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat like a camel's hump, crocs are almost all muscle.
Yeah.
A distinguished gentleman.
Which is also probably why you can only eat the tail, because that's all muscle. That will be the gamiest stuff you ever eat.
And look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth.
He's not wrong.
Or foam.
What's worse is, yes, the teeth will actually stick up through parts of the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That is not an exaggeration. The gators are literally built like this.
That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal.
Yeah, like the way it closed its eyes, so weird.
That was just its opening, and you're about to find out just how overpowered those eyeballs are, Chelsea.
Okay.
Eyes nature put right at the top of their heads, so snappy lads can plot on your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few weaknesses still requires two-factor authentication, especially since they can retract their eyeballs. And like dolphins, crocs can rest half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open, and studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision, because of course they do.
Yeah, that is a thing. One of the ways to spot a gator at night is if you shine a light onto the body of water that you're about to travel on, and if you see those, that means there's gators present.
And you just shine around and go, "Oh, hi boys, I'm gonna go over there. There's a cow over that way." That would be my immediate response. Just direct them elsewhere and get the hell clear. I hate to say this, I've actually done this occasionally with other animals and insects.
Here's another thing. There's an area in Florida called Lake Jessup. That's where all the gators get thrown into if they end up in residential areas. So if you ever want to bury a body with concrete shoes, that's the place to go.
I mean, I wouldn't even bother with the concrete shoes. I just knock the guy unconscious for a few hours and dump him in, and before it can pass an hour of him being doped up. Hypothetically speaking, of course, I would never actually do this, because even I'm not this cruel. And if I ever consider it, you have to be a special level of evil and awful for this to be on my ways to get rid of you list. Because I classify that as a type of death that most people wouldn't want on their worst enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the gator's stomach can dissolve bone and horn and your flesh and organs. I wouldn't be surprised if anything metal can be dissolved by that acid. And they're not going to be just one gator. You will be dealing with probably over 100, especially in that lake she mentioned.
Well, here's the thing about, like I said, there's a rule that residential lakes and lakes around historical sites those are frequently checked for gators because they know how much of a threat they are. So if one does end up in those residential lakes or ends up in those residential ponds or ends up in a ends up near a historical site that has a lake, they get specifically moved out and sent to Lake Jessup.
Mm-hmm.
And that lake is huge.
I wouldn't be surprised if every shoreline has an insane amount of cameras and stuff watching it. It does, doesn't it?
Hopefully we're done with this video soon. I want to go back to fun stuff.
Some locations, yes. Other locations, no. But I know that there's a camera set back when I was working at a museum. There was a residential lake there. And yes, they had a camera there for security reasons that had a great view of the lake. Especially since they have children visit the garden that has access to the lake.
Fair enough. But yeah, let's continue because...
Although I think it should have been a red flag that a body appeared in that lake on my first day of working there.
I mean, there's probably a rookie new to the state who didn't know where to dispose of the body.
Well, here's what happened. Guy got drunk. He literally dived where he shouldn't have dived in shallow water.
Okay, that's creepy. Moving on with the video.
And that's not even the most broken part of their vision. The fovea is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him, that's you putting the image on your fovea. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat fovea means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head. If you still don't follow, get a book and try to read the entire page without moving your eyes once, and then realize how much of a middle finger this creature's existence is.
So night vision and the kind of ability to comprehend sight that people in the military would desire. Again, this is why genetic splicing keeps being a thing people talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame them. That level of eyesight is overpowered, and I wouldn't mind having eyeballs that can do that. Probably because reading would be ridiculously easy after that.
Especially since the Titanic scale demon has cockroach levels of plot armor. Crocodiles can tank freezing cold, extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy metals.
Yeah, that is a sick and tragic place for them to live in, and they can survive in it, but it's still not good for them.
Yeah, but the fact he also mentioned radiation, this is overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way you could build a character in a serious tabletop RPG setting without being accused of hacks and min-maxing at the same time. And I would have to say you would have to be correct because there's very little chances you can do that. There are a few builds that are as overpowered as this, except maybe Old Man Henderson.
And with the diet of a morgue, they're resistant to nastiness like anthrax, cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth, botulism. They also have negligible senescence, meaning they don't really age the same way most animals do. It doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100. In fact,
he ate people
fathered 10,000
104. Meet Harry.
Meet Henry, but yeah.
Henry
the Gator, everybody. He looks like he's 124. Look at that dopey face. This is a murder gator, and he's just that dopey. He's like, oh, hi, guy. Hi. I
smell
here.
glue.
He literally looks like he's just got his head in his arm, right, his left hand, and just going, oh, hi, guys. Like he's chilling on his couch or his lazy boy. Damn. No, that's a
he looks like he's lived a good bit.
Yeah, it's like, hi. Like a casual murder machine. Not even moose can look like that. They always look like they got a reason to have beef.
right now, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900. Like the year. Which means, other than a Greenland shark, I don't think there's another predator that can outlive a croc, and with them being nature's favorite, of course some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer. And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health, and a crocodile's gut community manages to UNO reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer, and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells. Basically, it's a cancer to cancer, and now I understand why Buddy from Spider-Man crashed out, especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail.
Which is the other reason why you can only grab the tail from some gators. Because at the very least, if the gator still lives, and you take its tail, it'll grow it back. And it's therefore considered a humane way to do it if you do it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Dang near impossible to do safely, which is why usually you kill them. But the few places I've heard of that won't, the gator wranglers there are no joke. Like, these are the people you call in to immediately deal with an oversized gator in Florida. Like, as in the kind of people who moonlight or on the side do consulting work for animal control level of skill. Or they got their start there and now they work for the places that harvest the tails.
Can we jump through the video to make it go faster, or do you have to watch the
Crocodilian
whole
blood
thing?
also throws hands with bad bacteria and can dead diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a sense of irony.
Yeah, that's the fun bit. The bite force of a gator is intense, but they're easily neutralized by anything that holds their mouth shut because their opening force is weak as hell.
Yeah, it just using 2 fingers is enough to keep a gator's jaw shut. It's everything else you have to worry about in that point.
Yeah, like, you have his jaw shut, but don't move. And even then, don't do it alone, and the minute they have it pinned and can put something else around the lips or the jaw, move your hands. Because if you're not careful and it gets its mouth open, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's like the only kryptonite this sucker has, and it's probably the one with the biggest loopholes it can still take advantage. Because again, it can still move, and its tail and armor is still that overpowered. And it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody
But that's a lot
knows
better
my
than getting
sorrows.
folded by some of the diseases out there. And there's some stuff that Satan would second guess. Viewer discretion is advised, and this time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before I ruin your whole day.
You're gonna jump through the thing.
Your lack
I
of
don't
action
mind
will be
body
considered
odor, but
consent,
someone
I'm
else
just saying.
might.
Last chance, you can still go back. Alright, this is on you. 3, 2, happy
Oh,
What is this?
Halloween.
Lord.
I didn't even curse, I did gag a little. This is a deer suffering from papillomavirus, and it's usually not harmful unless you value mental health. But it can also cause Lovecraftian rabbits,
Not
with those
the
affected
bunny.
seeming to grow tentacles. And if you live in Colorado, you've definitely seen these jackalopes popping up. And according to this article, the
Oh, good lord, I forgot about these existing.
cutaneous quills are caused by the cottontail papillomavirus. This is the worst thing you can see while a mile high, because of the altitude. We fear most what we can't understand, and sometimes it feels like fear is the only thing stories like these are selling, and how that story is told could be the difference.
And ad for ground news. We're skipping.
Skipping. We don't care about the ground news.
To be fair, we're not shilling. Because we're not
shilling.
sponsored. So there's, oh great.
Make sure you go to ground news. Look at that deer again. But you'll never see a croc with something like that. It just wasn't enough. Nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet. Their abilities would get them banned in any game. Like I said, a crocodile on a stakeout can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a 5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why a crocodile can go up to 2 years without eating. God bless the bloke that breaks his fast. It means crocodiles can wait out the times that would surely wipe out anything else, and now you see how an aggressive massive snout managed to reject the same death that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a ring, and the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really are the teacher's pet of evolution. Also, crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard, or at least a Cuban croc will, and this is the one time I wish it were AI. And whoever said you should run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is a myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror movie. You could climb a tree, except they can do that too, because
yeah, this is why I say they can kind of move fast. And
here's the thing, at the very tip of Florida, around the Miami area, there's crocodiles, not just gators.
Which means two versions of nature's favorite murder hobo species that are competing for prey. That's horrifying.
That's why I live in. That's why I don't live in that particular area. I'm not saying where else I live.
Yeah. Short version, I don't blame you.
honestly, why not? They do everything else. And not only do they climb trees, according to scientists, they do it regularly, with them finding grown adults 10 feet in the trees and juveniles as high as 30. School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences of every kind.
Yes.
And again, you already know where this was taken.
Yes, a gator.
That mean their armor means they can handle barbed wire. And it
Yes.
also means they can get everywhere.
Including into prisons and schools and the national security areas.
The gator went to the Pentagon.
If a gator was actually loose in DC, they would immediately declare martial law, and the mayor wouldn't argue.
A meme, and I'll just.
No, because it's literally a national security threat. It'll start eating people, potentially. Important people, sadly. Also politicians, so they panic a lot.
Get to that shit already.
Yeah.
This is flagrantly Floridian. I think now's a good time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard, meaning we just barely missed out on this freak being able to fly.
I don't have to say anything there, do I? That's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's the thing with wings, and it's a dragon, but without the fire breath.
That's just
Lightyear.
a breath weapon missing dragon. And at that point, if it can gain wings, it gets a breath weapon in maybe 3 stages.
Lightlessness aside, another thing they can't do well is see underwater. Their aquavision is actually kinda mid. We're this far into this video and we finally found a weakness. But don't get too excited, cause nature overcompensated with something outrageous. Those pits seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors, and it's how the ultimate predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water.
Meaning where its eyesight fails, it has built-in Daredevil level radars. Oh dear. I just realized we haven't covered this sucker's sense of smell.
Huh?
We haven't covered this thing's ability to smell yet. Oh good lord, that's horrifying, honestly.
Also, apparently, is a way for dragons to breathe fire. They not only have the false palate of a crocodile to keep the backburn of the fire from burning their throat, but they would have to chew on platinum, and they would have to eat to create they'd have to eat something, and whatever's in their gut can create hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And that combination of platinum and hydrogen creates fire.
Yeah, fire, lightning, frost abilities, sometimes tied into other things. I've literally done a paper looking this up in high school. I am kind of an uber nerd when it comes to how dragons would have breath abilities. And yes, the acid and poison and gas breath are both related to the gut. Because of course.
Oh, I can't sing that song.
It completely erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hog-tie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on the complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from, while you won't know where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert. And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to 0, they'll T-pose,
green
spraying
water.
their legs.
It's literally T-posing. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So
somehow
intelligent at
more
that.
intimidating because it literally is just... it's literally doing that to establish dominance. I'm not wrong, am I?
Yeah.
No, you're
just
not
wait.
wrong.
Just wait.
Oh, no.
Just wait. I'm just listening to something else.
Yeah. Chelsea, anytime someone says just wait when I've already made that kind of guess, it gets worse.
And fingers to maximize an already broken ability, and speaking of fingers, their jaws are more sensitive than yours. A dinosaur beast breathing like a nosegay, but let the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails like a starfish's arm.
So they can actually regenerate their tails. I was right, 100%. That's horrifying to an extent.
Oh,
But the
tail,
thing is,
yes, but the legs, no.
Yeah. Which means the only way to disable them is cut off their legs. Which is probably damn near impossible if they have a pulse.
The bear.
Why is a bear here?
bears are berserker builds on steroids. Cats are four-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about this semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator.
Predator's predator. That's a predator's predator.
Chelsea, you remember Trinity Blood?
Yes.
You remember how the cruise sticks are vampires that feed on other vampires?
Oh, I'm aware.
That a gator is that to other predators in nature, but more vicious.
Oh.
And unlike with Abel, these things don't have a moral compass to keep them in check.
Yeah, their job is murk everything and then murk the rest.
Is there a single predator that generates more anxiety in other predators? Even cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death in the hit range of the reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull sharks actively avoid them. The crocodile is the worst kind of predator, one with zero prejudice, which makes them a massive threat to the most successful predator of all time.
In case everyone's wondering, this is a dummy bait thing to lure a gator out and make it think.
No, that's a crocodile. That's a crocodile.
Oh yeah, no, that's still to lure a crocodile or a gator out and make the croc think it's got a person, when in reality, this is just an inflatable dummy. But yeah, that's a terrifying thought if that was actually someone's arm, because the minute it's got you, it's yoinking you and then putting you into death spiral.
Think of snow.
Here's the thing, when a lion, tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never have to worry about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality, they're basically everywhere. It's not that they actively go after humans, just that they genuinely don't care, which is why it's the crocodile that turns more humans into hashtags than any other large predator by a lot, and considering how and where they do it, that number could easily be higher.
For those wondering, that is a public sewer access.
Yes.
Yeah, reach for the sky.
That is horrifying.
Even if you don't get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, 2 Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile below, and the entire night was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in. To make it even worse, thanks to a flood, the waters kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught. The two would be saved, but only by helicopter, because really, what else can you do in that situation? Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan. The New Zealander also got stalked by a croc almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in, and held captive on Governor Island, where the predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water, and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave, and Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued. That's the horror of being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator of all time, cause time is their greatest resource. You'll never have more of it than they do.
Gator eye, the eyeball right there in this sucker, and one of the famous Australian murder birds.
Murder bird.
The crocodilian wins.
And the fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and well over 2,000 pounds.
That really is yellow coloration. That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess, sure.
Also, dear Lord, look at that length and weight. Big chunk boy. And yet that picture has me think I would want to go, oh, he's a big wazy boy. And then realize I might die if I'm that close to it.
Believed because despite allegedly putting 300 people in past tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer Croc was never officially caught. And despite reports of his death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time, just waiting for someone to wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey. You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not.
Okay, that's a legitimately good joke. I might use that again later.
Yeah.
See them for another year. It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the Land Before Time left behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth. But of course, it's just an animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil, just forged by millions of years of character development and mass extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin rode so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Nah, with them it's respect, and a very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the landlord of Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
Yeah. Again, the old story is always beware the old men in a profession where all men and women in it die young. Because it means they've not only lived to live at that old age, they're still probably terrifyingly vicious to deal with.
There's only one time that I actually saw a croc flee. Context, in Australia, this crocodile was sitting right where there's a tourist house, and obviously the tourists were terrified of going down there. The landlord heard about this, grabbed a skillet, a cast iron skillet, and went, okay. And then of course another native was like, get him, Tawny. And the croc charges at him. He hits it in the head with the frying pan. It tries to charge again. He hits it again, and then it runs away.
Basically, he had to go, no, bad croc, no biscuit.
No biscuit.
Yes.
That
man had brass ball bearings.
Yeah, and now since we don't need to really finish this, let's go to the last bit.
Yeah.
From the account.
Oh wait, we hear we beef about Rose.
Fights with memes. Rank these 4 characters by how terrible they are.
Well, Rose made Jack drown because she didn't want him to be saved. It was like, oh, can I go on the ledge thing? No.
She was more
He's
of a
around
villain
now.
of disposing of that locket just because she was simping for a poor guy.
Well, here's
Grandpa Joe. I mean, he just got out of the bed, and everyone else has to stay in the bed.
Well, he sat in that bed while his family suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, here's my beef with Rose Dawson from Titanic. She literally was sitting on $1 billion diamond that she could have started up a trust in Jack's name and memory, possibly. Could have used it to set her kids up for life because she had a grandkid that took her to that boat in the middle of the Atlantic freaking ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But instead of, and then of course there's the treasure hunters that are looking for that diamond. But what does she do with it?
She eats it. She tosses it.
She tosses it into the middle of the freaking ocean.
There was actually a worse version of the scene of the ending. Turns out they shot 2 versions. One version, she gets caught, called on it, and she still manages to toss the diamond over.
Oh, sort of like the thing with like Little Trap of Horrors, one where they're dead and one they survive.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda, but less
Kinda.
horrific in one ending. Both she does the stupid thing, but only in one do they have a chance of figuring out where to get it. And also restraining her below deck.
And the other thing, that scene where they're panning, that scene where they're doing a panning shot of all of her years alive. I'm like, oh, where's her husband? Where's her children? Why is it always photos of her?
Because she's an established character.
She's bad.
No, I just want a bit.
She's bad. Now, why Jenny gets brought up is because she's from Forrest Gump.
Can I at least mention one more thing?
Go for it.
Sure, why not? Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Okay, Rose, I get it. You were in a shitty relationship with Cal. I get it. I get that you didn't want to be with him, and I get that he was a controlling jerkwad. But dragging Jack into it and then jumping off the lifeboat because you wanted to ensure that you and him were together, but then have him die because you couldn't move your ass.
Okay, what is she from again specifically?
Titanic.
Right.
The 1992 movie, which, I'm sorry, James Cameron, I give you credit that you are a man of detail when it comes to the sets, but you're shit when it comes to characters, with one exception, with two exceptions. Alien
Wasn't
2.
the Titanic also was the? Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different movie. No, Titanic is Cameron.
My heart would go on. It's a cinematic music, like it.
Well, basically, Cameron made Alien 2, which I really liked, and he made Terminator 2, which I really liked. Clearly, he needed a different script writer for the Titanic movie because I think all the major characters, which are Jack, Rosen, and Cal, trash.
Wasn't Michael Bay involved with Titanic?
I don't think so.
No, that's Transformers.
Whatever. Now, why is Grandpa Joe here? Is my question.
Well, in Willy Wonka, he's just sitting in bed. Just to note, Ben Shapiro made this complaint as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Grandpa Joe in the first Willy Wonka movie with Gene Wilder in it, and apparently they were claiming the thing that bugged his widow the most was the fact that they claimed that Ronald Dahl approved of the script when they were lying.
Mm-hmm.
And they completely disrespected his request for the movie. That's why it took over 50 years for a remake that honored the spirit of the original in the form of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
That's why Lissy Dahl was willing to give Tim Burton a chance after saying no to so many people. After the director and the production disrespected Ronald Dahl like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
anyway,
so sad.
Now, who's Jenny Curran again? Is that from
Forrest Gump?
Okay, so that is the whole from Forrest Gump. Yeah.
She died from AIDS.
Yeah, that was a like the ending of that when Forrest asks about the boy, realizing it's his kid, going, "Is he like me?" You suddenly, it kind of changes everything that you know. He knew the whole damn time what he was. He had
Life isn't like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Ironically, yes, because again, that means he was always aware of his mental issues. He wasn't ignorant. He was slow at best. But at that point, realizing that as a war veteran, he is a kid that might have his issues, that changes a man, even in that condition, to be hyper aware to ask. But it also says he knew the whole dang time he was like that. But John Hammond is the biggest night and day book to movie. Now, Chelsea, I want to ask you this personally. Have you've seen the Jurassic Park movies, right?
Yes, I have.
How's John Hammond in that? Like, aside from being kind of dumb at times, a decent man, right? Nice guy.
Yeah. Isn't he like Santa in some movies or something? He looks like a Santa person.
He played Santa Claus in the remake of Miracle on 34th Street. His actor did. The actor who played him did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he casually knew sign language and Swahili.
This is so heartwarming.
Oh, the sign language scene is a case of they didn't know he knew, and he just did that and they left it in. It was the most heartwarming thing for that girl because her name was actually Sally. They just didn't expect that. That's one of the few cases of an actor doing good. But no, that's why him playing John Hammond, they couldn't do Book Hammond. Book Hammond is a greedy, villainous moron of a businessman.
Even worse, he was a greedy businessman who hated his own grandkids and didn't even want them there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he wouldn't
yeah,
have cared
like-
if they died. He would have let them to rot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's not worried about him. He's pissed off that the electricity is out and the dinosaurs are loose. He's pissed off that his park's getting ruined to the point where he's threatening to kill Dennis Nedry if he finds him, which he doesn't find him because, well, you know what happened.
Yeah, that's one of the few things in the books and the movies that is fairly consistent. Dennis becomes Dino Chow.
He was sitting on the toilet.
No, that's the lawyer, not Dennis. Dennis is the fat guy who tried to make off with the things against the ink dino.
And here's the thing: do you know why Dennis Nedry betrayed John Hammond? Because it's not really touched upon in the movies.
Red herring.
We wish.
He betrays John Hammond because John Hammond was getting late with his payments to him. He was literally stiffing him. That's why he betrayed him.
That's why the spared no expense line in the movie is extra snark at the book, because Hammond supposedly in both spared no expense to try and secure it, but it wasn't even done that well in the book. The book goes more insane because Hammond doesn't live to see the end of the story.
Oh no. Okay, spoilers for a book that's been out for 3 decades. He falls up the stairs after screaming at his grandkids because they survived. Yes, I am not kidding, by the way. Mm-hmm. He falls, he breaks his ankle. A group of compies surround him and start eating him, and he can't run away because he broke his ankle.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Lost World, those little dinosaurs that are very vicious horde meat eaters, those scenes devouring a version of John Hammond who's a complete villain. And here's where it gets more worse for the entire park. A team of experts comes in, wrangles the dinosaurs, gets everything working, and is supposedly ready to just restart operations, and then the power goes out again.
And they get loose.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah. John Hammond effectively stiffed on certain parts, and they don't realize it till that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the endings of the book, one of the things that ends the book, is a pterodactyl in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remind you, in the book, they're still in South America territory. Like
that thing flew over 20,000, 15,000 miles.
Yeah, basically circumnavigated a good almost half the planet. And it doesn't matter how long it took. It did that through multiple different conditions over large bodies of water and wasn't shot dead before it made it to New York City. Implying that every flyer is loose.
Also, for the record, pterodactyls are actually called pterosaurs now.
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
They change names of dinosaurs half the time when it comes to trying to understand and details because, oh good lord, they get silly.
Also, as for Grandpa Joe, the Gene Wilder movie does him a massive disservice because in the Tim Burton one and the book, he was actually an old geezer that wanted to see the chocolate factory one last time before he gave up the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And You know, unlike in the movie, he only just got out in the Tim Burton movie and in the book. He only just gently got out of bed and went yippee and stood for a little bit before he had to sit back down. But in the Gene Wilder movie, he's acting like he's all old, he can't move, while his widowed daughter is bending over backwards just to make ends meet to feed her elderly family and her son. But then as soon as he gets the ticket, he's just dancing around.
Yeah. That's
And then,
why
of course,
Joe. That's why Grandpa Joe from that particular version's on this list. But Hammond's only mentioned for one reason. Hammond's only mentioned.
Even worse.
Mm-hmm.
He almost screwed over Charlie getting to being named Wonka's heir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, the book was more insane for him becoming the heir for one reason. It wasn't the same as the Gene Wilder bit. It wasn't any sort of like give it up. It was literally he was the only one still at the tour.
And all the other kids got all spoiled bratty, and he wasn't spoiled.
Or in the words of the Tim Burton one via Johnny Depp, Charlie was the least rotten.
Yeah. In both the movies, that's the case. In the book, it's literally just because all the others got eliminated by their own hubris, and he wasn't deliberately setting them up.
Well, here's the problem with the kids. One was a glutton.
Mm-hmm.
The other was a insufferable know-it-all. The other was Veruca Salt.
The other one's Blueberry,
who didn't even like chocolate, but did it but got the ticket because he could. Not because he liked the candy, but because he wanted the challenge.
Yeah.
He played video games.
But again, the reason John Hammond is in here is because the movie version is effectively a saint on par with the idealized version of Santa Claus, which this actor also played, while the book version is 2 steps above Satan in some cases. And I say this because he didn't actively throw his kids to the dinos for a distraction that I'm aware of.
How long have you been streaming?
Let me double check what the OBS says. I haven't checked it. This is actually just over 2 hours. Meh. That's still not bad for us because we've gone for insane amounts of time. But
well,
yeah.
I think the reason why I have so much disdain for Rose is because I used to love Titanic, but then the more older I got, the more I'm like, I look at Rose and I'm like, you suck. And I know earlier my mom was trying to defend her and claiming that, well, she couldn't really do anything with the diamond because it didn't technically belong to her. I'm like, Hal had shot himself when the stock market fell. It became hers by right by that point.
There is plenty of legal precedent for crap like this. Also, salvage. You can literally claim salvage rights to lost treasures in many cases. The only reason stuff on the Titanic can be contested is because it's not that old, and some of it is of significant historical relevance, meaning it has to be checked out by museums first before you try and sell it.
And the other factor is that whomever owns the possessions might still have descendants, and they, by technicality, by blood right,
have a claim legally.
Mm-hmm.
Also, here's the fun bit: spared no expense. Hires only one computer program to run the whole park full of man-eating dinos, and some that don't eat men, but still.
Okay. Like the brontosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And the allosaurs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just magic school, but lingo came back.
No, that's understandable.
The chances make mistakes and get messy.
Mm-hmm. He spared an expense, yeah, because he was like in the movie. There's no good reason beyond just him being greedy to want to sell out Hammond. In the book, he legitimately has beef because he ain't getting paid. At that point, I'm like, no, if he'd have made it off, I would never blame this man. I'd be kind of upset he let loose the man-eating dinos. But when it came out that John Hammond actually skimped on the parts for certain things for the electronics and the electrical grid, yeah, no, I'd still not blame Nettie because, you know, if you get that payout, I'm not going to completely complain. I'm just going to say, don't be surprised if they still have to go through NGen for the Dino Park.
Also, I'm thinking at the moment, at the very bottom in evil tier, we have Book Hammond. At the very top of not too terrible, but kind of stupid, Movie Hammond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie Hammond's a decent person. Book Hammond, again, novel Hammond is evil. Movie John Hammond made errors. The novel Hammond was evil. This is movie Hammond. Novel Hammond didn't pay the one dude. But it's also telling there was only one dude.
So, question is, who do we fill the rest of the brackets with on the terrible scale?
If we're just counting with here, she's the top. She's second top. Partly because she literally did all the crap she did. And he's near equal. Actually, don't check that. Grandpa Joe's on the second top. She's third top. And the only reason I could say that he ties potentially for third top is because Book Hammond. And if we're only going with Movie Hammond doesn't belong as a terrible character. He made errors. He goofed. And he recognized he goofed. He regretted it. He hated it.
Well, like I said, in terms of evil to not too bad, Book Hammond's on the bottom. Movie
Novel
Hammond's
Hammond tops Rose. Novel Hammond outdoes Rose by a mile, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm. But question is, where's Rose on the totem pole? Is she next to Hammond? Is she in the middle, or is she near the top near Movie Hammond?
She's just she's between the middle and the top, closer to the book. Wait, are we talking the lower the more evil, or the higher the more evil?
Lower the more evil, upper the more good.
Rose is below both Grandpa Joe and Jenny. She's closer to Book Hammond. And for her, it's petty, selfish negligence and idiocy regarding the jewel.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that she could have gotten out of it alive. She could have gotten Jack out of it alive if she stayed on the freaking lifeboat and not jumped back onto the Titanic. Her doing that sealed his fate.
Uh-huh.
What's creepy is that's true. But, yeah. Good Lord Almighty. There is no end of finding out just how silly some characters are when you look at things. Also, notice the ratio on this. Just, what did Grandpa Joe do? Yes, he encouraged Charlie to try fizzy lifting drinks, but does that make him terrible? Gonna find out what Book Joe was like, I see. Because, again, 16 comments to 12 likes. Somebody got ratioed hard. Film Hammond, not too much, just foolish and careless. Book Hammond, yes. Which, again, I'm going to comment that because those are the comments that need to be reminded. He spared an expense. Well, he was the expense that was spared, let's be honest.
Durbin, would it be insult to say that he kind of looks like you?
Nettie? No, I'm thinner.
Oh.
Right, am I anywhere near this man's
Shall
heavy?
we?
Am I anywhere
No,
near
it's
this
the
fat?
glasses. It's the glasses. It's the glasses.
Okay, the glasses makes kind of sense, but I don't even think my face is this big. Ray, do I look that big?
No.
Because this man has like 2 chins. At least. Okay, let's just do this. That is a double chin. To the point of, I can safely say this man wears a 5X.
So where would we put Jenny from Forrest Gump on that level? So Rose is next to Book Hammond. Where does that put Jenny?
Above her, right close to Grandpa Joe, and Grandpa Joe is between her and Rose.
Okay. Because I do know that in the movie they try to explain the reason why she's like that, but just because we know why she's like that doesn't excuse what she did, why she acted like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, by the way, here's another comment that just describes movie Hammond perfectly. In the movie, he comes across as an adult child. They were probably marketing this to kid. That's why they got the famous Santa Claus actor to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is so enamored with seeing live dinosaurs that he's not there when it comes to safety. There's hubris in it, but Sir Richard Attenborough, which is his name, plays him as more naive than arrogant. In the book, he is far more evil. I mean, true evil, because like we described, this man is a monster who got the death he earned. It's somehow insane, the nonsense that happens, because again, this guy doesn't live no matter what version you're looking at. Some people think Grandpa Joe is worse. Ooh. Yeah, Rose psychopath on all levels. Yeah. Movie John Hammond did nothing wrong. Also, I see that he forgot full Orgos there instead of 5. Movie Hammond, no. He was a dreamer who didn't understand the depths of hubris and cost him dearly. Novel Hammond was a bit more money-hungry and unsympathetic, and never truly acknowledged that his actions had dire consequences. Does that put him as true evil or just villainously incompetent?
Well, given the fact that he would he didn't give a shit about his grandkids and would have left them to die, I'm afraid that is there's a bias there.
Yeah. Oh, well, then again, I think the Scott guy here is agreeing with you. In the Jurassic Park book, it was very clear that Hammond was the villain. He played God, check. Didn't shut things down when people started dying, also check. And pushed for the park to open instead of addressing safety concerns. There's a reason I say this man cut a lot more corners than people realized. Because again, the novel describes him dying and NGen sending out people to fix this guy's screw up, get it up and running, and then after they just finished and secured all the dinosaurs, power goes out again. Because of course. How is Jenny getting outclassed by Rose? I mean, Jenny outclassing Rose here.
Give the bunny ice cream.
Considering she screwed over that, yeah. I think we're done, though, because we got not much more we can talk about with this. And, again, like over almost 2.5 hours now. So,
2.5 hours, mostly bragging about gators and elephants.
Sorry,
well, to be fair, Chelsea, I have to live with them, so there is a bit of a bias in favor of talking about them.
Well, if we talked about earthquake stuff, you'd probably have some comments of your own because you live in Cali.
Oh, by the way, not only has the gator near my work has a mate, apparently they have a kid.
They're going to be removed from near your work, aren't they?
Well, I was told by the lawn workers who have to cut the grass in that back area, there's 3 of them now.
You might want to have your boss call animal control. But on that note, I think we need to wrap up. So
I'm burnt out. I'm gonna go on a different call.
I'm sorry, Chels. I was hoping to be a little more entertaining for you, but we'll work something out.
It was entertaining, and then it pooped.
Yeah, no, I think the gator video. I think we need to limit what we react to not like over 10 minutes or near 20, and that was 17 minutes. Actually, I think it was 17 minutes and change. Jeez. But yeah, that's for next time. With that,
cat video will be. I think the cat video will be better.
Yeah, next time we just do something a lot shorter.
I like bunnies.
We can find some fun bunny stuff or some amusing bunny things. Yeah, like with that, everybody, thank you for sticking around with this long bit of us reacting and occasionally snarking and me having to occasionally walk off. See you guys next time. Hopefully we get something more fun to react to and less long and ranty. But yeah,
I mean, I have like lots of fun stuff, but I have to double check on you guys first before I give an okay or something.
Just post it in the group chat, but and we should be able to throw some stuff together. But until then, everyone, as per usual, is a like, is a comment, subscribe, share the video, do all the things, and yeah, see you guys later. And for those wondering, yes, Chelsea will be streaming occasionally on Twitch, and I think, are you doing YouTube or just Twitch?
I do both now.
She'll be doing on YouTube and Twitch. Go follow her, Chels Bunny, honey, and you should find her in both.
I'm playing Backrooms, Escape the Backrooms, so you'll get to see me scream like a bunny, like that.
Yeah. Ironically, time for the Backroom trailer to have dropped. So yeah, I'll probably try streaming at some point soon, but we'll see what the heck my life decides to do, and we'll see everyone else. We'll see everyone else. Will see you guys hopefully later. Be that for D&D or regular shenanigans on these things. See you guys. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.